Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul and this is the daily one-card collective reading for Sunday, October 29th. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now this is going to be a general one-card reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together today. All right. I am merely the messenger. I want you to remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And wow, we got a 10 of Cups for today. We had a 10 of Swords yesterday. Now we got a 10 of Cups. Interesting. Keyword for this card is satiety. All right. And it's a rather complex card. I know generally it means, hey, you're going to get everything you want. I like to say that this is your picture perfect happiness. Okay, that there is no area of your life that cannot be full and fulfilled from head to toe, from top to bottom, all the way from your very deepest, truest self, all the way down to your physical body, right? Intellectual, emotional, your creative, your love, your connection with others, your search for wisdom and understanding, too, is in here. Your search for your knowledge of self, that is in here. Literally encompasses everything, okay? So in a more mystical sense, this is the idea that we can have an ideal of our perfect happiness, right? This is water. It's an emotional card, right? But it's also a very reflective card. It's also a very intuitive card. It's also a very spiritual card, right? So we have to, like water, we have to be kind of fluid with it. We don't want to set up some kind of rigid ideal, because then we're kind of back in the Swords energy, right? Some sort of rigid ideal of what happiness would look like to us. This is water. This is flowing, right? It's not meant to be a static picture. I know we say this is your picture perfect happiness, but that is supposed to be felt in the moment, right? It's something, sure, that we want to attain, and that's why there's a close tie, at least in my readings, there's a close tie between the 9 and the 10 of Cups, right? Sometimes the 9's better, sometimes the 10's better. It really just depends on what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. If there is a concrete goal that you're after, if there is one of these cups that is not as full as it could be, well, let's work on that. That's what we want to attain. And then if we get a 10 of Cups, then it's the idea that, yes, we are going to fulfill that need that we have. And at least for that moment, nothing's going to be lacking, right? When we see a 9 of Cups, it says, hey, look, there's more that we can do in the moment to generate this happiness, right? This is kind of like the 10, well, it's like any of the 10s, really. It's the completion of the energy. Okay, it's the full concretization, can't say that word, of the energy. So this is water energy that is completely, has reached the end of its journey and is as full as it is going to be. Now, in terms of our emotional energy, this could signal that it's time for a change, right? When we reach our goals, we can bask in those goals. We can bask in the feeling a little bit, but then we have to keep going, right? Nothing is permanent. Nothing is like literally set in stone, right? Especially when it comes to these tarot cards, they all really do flow one into the other. So when we get to a 10 of Cups, when we have this idea that I've gotten the most out of this situation, this feeling, this relationship, this project, whatever it might be, when I've gotten the very most out of it that is there, right? What comes next? Well, in the hierarchy of the tarot, what comes next is going to be an Ace of Swords, right? Because fire, water, air, and then earth, the very next card would be the Ace of Swords. We have the new idea. We have the enlightenment. We have the realization we see the truth that there really is no end. There really is no final, like, goal. You know, there's no final state of things. Because we linger in this, and eventually we're going to get bored, we're going to be overwhelmed, we're not going to have the same feeling anymore. I think the perfect energy, really, especially in the Suit of Cups, is right in between a 9 and a 10. Right? Getting what we want and then a little bit of delayed gratification. Then we've got to try to go after what we want again. That's where we like to operate. It's like a 9 or a 10, really, of any of the suits. Maybe not swords so much, but swords are a tricky bunch anyway. But with this card, it is possible to be overwhelmed with something, to have too much of a good thing. I like to say when we get a 10 of Cups that this is like you're at the buffet, right? And it seems like a really nice idea, right? When you're hungry, it seems like a good idea, go to the buffet. But then you end up eating everything that's there, everything that you're craving, everything that you desire. And then pretty soon, you're a very, very full 10 of Cups. And it's kind of an uncomfortable state. And you say, gosh, I wish I could just go back to when I was still a little bit hungry, and then all that food looked delicious. But after you're that full, that food doesn't look so good anymore. Right? You kind of just want to get out of there. Interesting how a lot of my analogies lately have been around food. Probably the holidays are coming, and that's making me think of all the great feasts that we get to have. So the 10 of Cups. Today might be a good day for us to examine what our emotional or spiritual goals are, what our desires are, what our cravings are, and first of all, to see if they are harmonious with the will of the self, if those goals and cravings and desires that we have are really what we should be going after, okay? And then also to ask ourselves what area of our life might need more fulfillment, our spiritual work, our compassion, our higher love, right? Our higher ambitions, right? Is it our knowledge of self? Is it our thinking, our feeling functions? Is it our romantic or sexual life? Is it our physical body and physical needs that need more attention? And let's look at what areas of our life we might be lingering in. Are we staying at the buffet long after we're full? You know, is there something in our life that is overwhelming? Is there something that we've kind of had enough of? You know, they kind of say, you know, I'm full up to here with it. Well, that's kind of this card, you know. This card, yes, it is the perfect state of happiness, but it's very easy to go into excess here. And when we get to this end result, it should be rather smooth transition into the next great idea, right? Into the next movement. It's always, you know, on to the next thing here. So we have to look at that in our lives. I think today's a good day to see, okay, what has outstayed its welcome? Is there a buffet that I've lingered at too long? Is it time for me to pay the check and get outside to the car or something, you know? But the 10 of Cups, it's also a good day to kind of count our blessings, you know, to appreciate which areas of our life are fulfilled. And if we have this sense of a complete 10 of Cups energy, let's appreciate that. Let's show gratitude for that. Let's share that, right? And maybe that's part of this too. If we have this kind of abundance, a 10 of Cups, you know, abundance, maybe the idea here is that we need to share a little bit so that we don't get too full, you know. So a lot going on with this card. It's very interesting that we had the 10 of Swords. Now we have the 10 of Cups. I think there is something that we maybe collectively are kind of lingering at too long, and it's time to move on. It's time to come up with a fresh idea, perhaps. Yeah, because we've enjoyed something as much as we possibly can, and if we stick around, we're kind of forcing it. Let's try to innovate. Let's figure out what comes next. All right. I think this is a very good card. I like this card a lot. And I want to thank you for being here. As always, I really do value this time that we spend together. Please check out your sun, moon, and rising sign readings. I hope you all have a blessed day. And I'll talk to you again very, very soon.